is up? Brent, back with. It's been over 2 months since my last video edition of Near Mint Musings. And today, I think it's about time I get back on the old saddle and make a video. So I need to talk about where I've been, what I'm doing, the future of the channel. In case you were wondering what that void was in your daily YouTube library. Yeah, it was me. I'm kidding. That's cute. No, it's been, 2 months since my last video. And thank you for a few of you that have reached out asking me, what the heck am I at? Am I okay? I still stay active on them Instagrams, posting some cards and some, stuff. But I changed jobs. I am in the restaurant business. I've been as a consultant for the past 8 years, and I flipped to the dark side. I am now on the franchise side and was hired to be a director of operations for a franchisee to open up a bunch of new restaurants in Salt Lake City starting summer of 2022. That's right, Utah. I don't live there. So put two and two together. I will be eventually, soon. Maybe not for a couple years. Anyways, where I've been is where I'm at. You see that artwork behind me, carrying on the tradition of fancy hotel artwork. That's a beach volleyball scene, which isn't very Salt Lake City / Utah-ish. Somewhat big to differ because they kept the name Jazz when they moved from New Orleans to Salt Lake City, but that's another video. I digress. This is indicative of Redondo Beach, California, where I have been for the past 4 weeks. Took a week off to go back home to my family in Washington State. Now I'm back here for 3 more weeks doing immersive restaurant training. So before I can do the job that I've been hired to do, I have to get certified by the corporation to be unleashed to open up new restaurants. So that's my brief catch up where I've been. Obviously I've had the blinders on when it comes to training, getting my job set where it needs to be going. I'm learning a lot of stuff, just putting the axe to the proverbial grind. It's been really good. So that's where I've been. But when I went back home, I decided I'm going to bring a few cards down with me to the old hotel room, as I've done in the past, traveling around. But I figured I need to make a video or two. So here I am. It's going to be a brief video as far as cards, because I want to pose a question to you guys. Future of the channel. Well, that's a good question. I know you all are asking it right now. I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to make. I'm hoping to make a couple more before I head back home before Christmas. I'm going to break some cards down specifically with videos to be made in mind. I don't know how robust my job will be leading up to the first restaurant isn't going to open up until next summer. But obviously I have to kind of get boots on the ground, get staffing, got to build a restaurant first too. So got to meet with all that stuff that goes behind the scenes, development and construction and all the good stuff. So I'm really excited, but with that comes a lot of work. So I don't know what my schedule is going to be for the next few months. But I am planning to keep this channel alive and afloat. And I've started to watch more content. I really, again, put the blinders on, so I've been kind of absent from the whole YouTube scene, both in creation and in watching. So anyways, that's your catch-up sesh. Look for another video soon, hopefully. If things go well with the Veterans Committee votes tomorrow for the Hall of Fame, there are at least 2 individuals that I really hope get voted in tomorrow. If one of them do, I'm planning to make a video on that gentleman. So let's see. If not, I probably still will, because I appreciate him. Anyways, Here's my one card, but before I show you the card, I have a question. Who's your guy? Who do you PC? Multiple guys, one guy? That's not really the question. The question is, the guy or guys that you PC, do you only collect him playing for a certain team? I'll give you an example. Ken Griffey Jr. I only collect him in a Mariners uniform. Not when he went to the Reds, and not his storied career when he played for the White Sox. But I only collect him as a Mariner. Now you may ask why, and I would answer, first I would go, well, because that's who he is. That's who most people attribute Ken Griffey Jr. as, a Mariner. But I like him, and who he is, his personality. It didn't change when he went to the Reds. I mean, he got hurt a lot, and he obviously wasn't the same. He was getting older, maybe a little more out of shape, injured often, but he's still the same guy, the same kid. The energy and just the joy that he brings to the game, I don't think that changed when he went from Washington State to Ohio. So why do I stop collecting, or why do I not collect him as a Cincinnati Red? Well, that's a good question, which leads me to the card that I want to show you. Now, this card is a card that I swore to myself I would never buy. As many of you know, I am a Harmon Killebrew collector, and I have all of his playing day cards from 1955 through 1975. I still need to get some of the oddball ones, but his Topps run I have, and then his leaders cards and some other, inserts and stuff. So I have all of his main cards through 1975, sans one. And the one card I don't have of him is purposeful because it's the one card that shows him not as a Minnesota Twin. That is his 1975 SSPC. So this technically is a playing days card because he played through the 1975 season. And that last season he played strictly as a DH for the Kansas City Royals. For the longest time, graded, ungraded, whatever, this card was not in my collection. And then I started thinking, why? Do I collect him because he's a Minnesota Twin? Well, yes, because you can look at my backstory. I was born into a Minnesota Twins supporting family. Killebrew's from the hometown of my uncle and some of my other relatives, Idaho-based and raised. So there's that connection there. But think about it. Do I collect? The reason I'm a Twins guy is because of him. I'm not liking him because I'm a Twins guy. Does that make sense? So if he started out with the Royals, maybe I'd be a Royals guy. But I collect Harmon Killebrew because I'm connected to him, my family's connected to him, and I've grown to appreciate and just adore his existence as a person, and a great person he was. So I stopped and thought, well, why wouldn't I get this card? Does he look weird in this uniform? Absolutely. And I know you all have players out there that, or we forget they played for another team in the twilight of their careers that you forget about, or you just feel weird about them having in your PC because they're not that, maybe they played 20 seasons and 19 and a half they were in one uniform, and for 4 months they were in another, kind of like this, right? But anyways, my epiphany was I collect him, not the Twins. So I went out and got this, much for a PSA 10, and now I can say I have all of his playing day cards graded in my collection. So who is your PC guy? I'd just be curious. Are there teams that you won't collect that he played for because he is known to you for one team? Is it your hometown team? Do you feel betrayed when he got traded? Did he take a big contract and leave and you were bitter? Rightfully so, maybe not rightfully so. I'm curious. So leave some comments down below. Who was your guy or who is your guy, and do you not care what team he's on, or do you care what team he played for? Anyways, that's my card. That's my story. That's my catch-up. It's good to be back on the horse. Hopefully I'll be making some videos in the near future. Until then, I appreciate you all. Have a good one.